seem to have a fabulous copy of a first edition of Tolkien's The Hobbit. So let's investigate. Now, the first thing I want to see is the condition of the dust wrapper. It's a little bit chipped, but I don't think particularly badly for its age. First edition freaks, I'm afraid, really insist on dust wrappers. They are rare. People used to take them off and lose them and all that sort of thing. So it is quite important for a first edition of this quality to have a dust wrapper. The binding seems to have weathered reasonably well. A little bit of dust staining at the top and the bottom of the spine, and a little round the edge. But generally, I mean, there's no tearing of the cloth or anything like that. So again, full marks there. Nearly full marks there. 8 out of 10 there, shall we say. And then a complete knockout. Two things that knocked me out. One, a magnificent letter from Tolkien, signed Ronald. But two, sticky tape at the top. Now, that is a thing that you must never do, never ever do. I'm not saying that you did it or anything like that, but people did this sort of thing, is tack interesting bits of information in the front of books. But you should never ever use sticky tape. Look, at the back of this, you can see it all comes off and actually sticks into the paper, and it's incredibly difficult to get out. In fact, it stains the paper completely. So here, wonderful letter, my dearest Jane, here is a copy of my little book, which I send you with much love, and so on and so on. And I hope it will amuse you. Your loving Ronald. Now, who is Jane? Do you know, is this a family?
I'm not certain who Jane is, but I know that it's a distant relative. I believe it was an aunt of J.R.R.'s.
So you are related to the Tolkiens?
Well, by marriage. My husband
marriage.
is J.R.R.'s grandson.
Turning over to the front free end paper, I see another signature here for Auntie Jane from Ronald. I assume Ronald, I mean J.R.R.'s Aunt Jane.
Right.
And Simon Tolkien?
Yes, that's my husband. The book came to him when when J.R.R.'s library was broken up, when he died.
Yes.
Simon was about 10, so they thought that The Hobbit would be the most appropriate book for him to have out of that, because it was a children's book.
Yes, yes. Well, The Hobbit, as you know, was written in, 1937, and it was the first book. It heralds his famous trilogy, The Lord of the Rings, which everybody knows about.
Right.
And so really, this is Tolkien's first famous book. Now, there's one other point about a first edition of this book. Let me take the book out. This is for dust wrapper freaks. Tolkien, in fact, corrected this dust wrapper himself, or at least it is said that he corrected it himself. There is a mistake on these two notes, or on one of these notes on the end papers here. I don't know if you've ever noticed it before.
No, I haven't.
Well, it is a point. Dodgson, here, has an E, and with black ink, it's been crossed out. So, a first edition freak is not only looking for his first edition, he's looking for a first edition with a dust wrapper, he's looking for a first edition with a corrected dust wrapper, a corrected E, crossed out like that, possibly done by Tolkien, not sure. And then he's looking for a nice inscription, like this, and then possibly a letter. He's got everything. So, what do you think it's worth? Have you had it?
I've never had
Obviously,
it valued. I have absolutely
it's a family
no
thing.
idea.
You don't really want to think too much further than that. I would say that this would fetch at auction, or some collector would be very happy to pay £3,500 for it.
Wow, that is amazing.
It is, isn't it? Good.
I really am surprised to hear that.